everyone, thank you for joining me here today. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Irene, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I clean and I protect my leather handbags so that they look great, they look pristine even after having had them for years. So if you're interested to see how I do that, then let's get straight into this video. So sitting in front of me here on my table, I have kind of a lineup of products that I use when I am taking care of my luxury handbags. And if you guys have seen some of my other videos before, then you know that I do have a small collection of luxury handbags, and obviously they're very expensive and I want to take good care of them so that they last me for years and years to come. And I'm sure that many of you guys are also in the same boat. So I want to put out a quick disclaimer out there that just because I do something, it might not necessarily work for every single handbag out there. So please make sure you do your own due diligence and research before you try out any of these things I suggest. Make sure you do a patch test or do other research and make sure that it does work for your specific leather and handbag and whatever you're dealing with, so that you don't end up damaging things by accident. So the first things first, I want to talk about cleaning your handbags. I don't clean my handbags all the time. I would say maybe once every few months, maybe once every 6 months, I would take out my handbags and give them a good wipe down, some leather cleaning and leather conditioning. Because I live in a very dry climate and it can suck out a lot of the moisture out of these leathers, I do try to put an emphasis on conditioning. Let's just take my oldest handbag. This is my Celine belt bag, and this is the micro size. I don't remember which size it's called, but I do have a full video reviewing this handbag, so I'll link it in the links up above here. This handbag is my oldest luxury handbag, and I've had this bag for about 5 years now, and it looks pretty much brand new, as you can see. Besides, there's this one scratch that I have made on this handbag by accident when I first got it. There's really no wear or tear to show in this handbag. I just wanted to show you guys like the stuff works. So there are a few main products that I use when I talk about cleaning my handbags and conditioning them. The ones that I've used for the longest period of time, this set from the Apple brand. It looks like this. I purchased mine from Amazon. I got in here the leather care, which is the leather conditioner, and the leather cleaner. Okay, so it comes in 2 bottles like this. They're 4 fluid ounces each. It comes in a set. It actually even came with a cloth that you use to wipe in and buff in the product. The first thing in here is this leather cleaner. So what I will do is when I have my handbags, I will always take a microfiber cloth. So I prefer ones that are just white. I will take some leather cleaner. I'll put it on here. So let me just show you guys. I'll put a small dab on here. It's a clear liquid, so you can't even really see it. And what I will do is I will start to gently buff this into the handbag. So I'm just gonna clean this part. So it's important to clean your handbags before you actually go in and condition them, because you don't want to be rubbing in dirt and other pollutants and debris that you might have gotten on your bag while using the handbag. And as you can see, I'm not going in very vigorously. It's a very gentle kind of circular motion that I'm going in with. And I'm always especially careful around the corners. So if you have handbags that have sharper corners such as this, these corners are definitely more prone to wear and tear, so I'm always extra careful and extra gentle around these areas. I like to focus more conditioner on those areas as well, just to keep them looking in their best shape as possible. So I will obviously do this with my entire handbag. I'll go through like the handles, gentle cleaning. It does not need to be rough wiping. I'll just go into the top section here, really get into all the nooks and crannies. I guess I should have angled this camera in a better way so that I don't have to lift up the bag, but it's okay. I try to focus on one section of leather at a time. As you can see, this flap is one section, so I'll focus on that. And yeah, I do this about once to twice a year. I personally use my handbags more so on the weekends, so realistically, I'm not using them every single day of the week. I don't need to clean them as much, but if you're someone who does use their handbags more frequently than I do, you might want to consider cleaning them just a little bit more often. So I'm going to go around. I do not touch the hardware with this stuff. I mean, it's not a big deal. And you don't need a whole lot of product. A little bit goes a long way. Obviously, if you feel it's a little bit drying up, then you just get a little bit more. And again, being extra careful around the corners of the bag. And once I'm happy with the actual cleaning process with the leather cleaner, then I can move on to the leather conditioning, which is very important because leather at the end of the day is like your skin. It needs moisture. As I've mentioned earlier, there is this Apple brand leather care, which is a conditioner, and I've used this for years. It's really good. I do recommend this. Over the years, I've also done more research. I've gotten some lambskin handbags, which are a little bit more delicate. So I wanted to be a little bit more careful, and so I did order another different leather conditioner or leather lotion, and that would be this one here. This is called the Cadillac Boot and Shoe Leather Lotion, and it looks like this. This one is really well known in the handbag community. I did a lot of research when I bought my Chanel mini rectangle in the lambskin leather. Everyone knows that the Chanel lambskin can be pretty delicate, so I purchased this leather conditioner specifically because I know that a lot of people do use this one on a lot of their delicate handbags. Both of them work really well, so whether it's the leather care from Apple brand, the boot and shoe leather lotion. I also have this one here from Havre de Luxe, which was formerly known as the Handbag Haven, and this is actually a waterproofing conditioner. I know it's very bright with all the lights here, but it looks like this. I'll have all the products linked down below, but this is a waterproofing conditioner. So I like to use this one for my vachetta leather. Today I'll just use the Cadillac one, so I'll give it a good shake. I'll find another corner on my microfiber cloth that is completely clean, and I will put some of this leather lotion here. Just a small dollop, about pea-sized amount. I don't know if you can see in here. And I will use this to kind of gently rub in gentle circular motions. So let's just do this top flap here. Rub it in so that it gets some extra moisture so it doesn't crack or get damaged because of the lack of moisture. All right, so this top flap, at least the front of it, is covered and it's got moisturizer rubbed in. Okay, and I'm going to move on to the rest of the handbag, adding a little bit more each time as needed. And I like to give it some time to kind of sink in. When you first apply any of these products that I mentioned, they do have a little bit of a like wet, sticky almost feeling, depending on which product you're talking about. But give it a few minutes to absorb into the leather and you're good. As long as it's not soaking wet. If it is, I would use your microfiber cloth and kind of wipe off the excess. But as you can see here, like it's already kind of dried into it and absorbed. If any of you guys have ever scratched your leather handbags before, now depending on what leather it is, depending on how deep the scratch is, you could potentially get that out by using a leather conditioner. So it's kind of like your skin, right? If you've got dry skin, you give it a scratch, you see this white kind of scratch left over on your skin on the surface. If you add lotion onto your skin, that goes away. It's kind of the same idea. So if you ever scratch your handbag and it's not like a deep scratch, try getting it out. Again, this depends on the leather as well, but try using leather conditioner on it and it could potentially get it out as well. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but the bottom of this bag where I applied the conditioner is definitely a little bit more shiny than this top part where I haven't yet. I live in a very dry climate. If you lived in a more tropical, humid climate, then maybe you don't need to do this as much, maybe just worry more so about the cleaning. I remember when I first got my luxury handbags, I was so nervous about the cleaning and protecting of it. I didn't know what products were safe to use on it. I didn't know whether I should be doing certain things and applying certain products because brands will tell you not to. So for example, I have like my Chanel bags. The essays will always tell you don't use any products on them, and some people live by that and their bags are perfectly fine. I personally don't trust it, so I do use product on my lambskin and on my caviar leathers from Chanel and from Louis Vuitton and everything. It's all personal preference, but if you do your research, there's tons of community members on these like purse forums that you can find, and they always are very helpful when it comes to finding out what's safe to do, what's not safe to do, what products to use, what brands to use. And that's essentially what I did. I went online, I did some research, and I found that these products that I mentioned are very popular in the handbag community and tons of people have used them and they've worked really well for people. I'm just gonna speed through the rest of this part part just because like it's nothing crazy. It's just rubbing in lotion in circular motions. I wanted to quickly mention that you see these hooks where there's the leather that kind of wraps around this D-ring here. There's a lot of little places like that where you need to pay extra attention when you're cleaning and conditioning. Just make sure that you're giving them a little bit of love as well, because you don't want those pieces wearing down on you and breaking. One more thing is this little tab for this back zipper here. At one point it was actually showing signs of wear. It was kind of like peeling almost, but then I applied some leather conditioner onto it one time and it looks brand spanking new. So I 100% swear by leather conditioners. So there is the cleaning and conditioning done for the Celine belt bag here. As you can see, it takes a few minutes and you know, you need to be a little bit gentle with it, but really it'll last you a long time if you do this a few times a year. You don't need to do it every month. I feel like that's a little excessive. The leather has worn beautifully still and it looks spanking new. So as I was kind of cleaning my handbags here, I kind of noticed that my Chanel mini rectangle in the lambskin, it looks like it could use a little bit of moisturizer. So I'm just going to go in again with the Cadillac lotion here, the leather lotion, and just show you guys that this can be used on lambskin. So I'm just gently rubbing in this Cadillac leather lotion. If I'm looking at it up close, you may not have been able to tell through the camera, but before the leather puffs here had some small wrinkles in it, as if like the leather was a little bit shriveled up. But now that I've added this in there, it's kind of puffed and smoothed everything over. So there's that. I'm just gonna do that with the rest of the handbag and I'll come right back. I'm just gonna do the bottom of this just one more time here, and I want to focus some of that lotion conditioner on the corners. All right, so I have just finished conditioning my Chanel mini rectangle, and do you see how shiny it is now? So you're just gonna give it a few minutes, let it sit, let it sink in. If you use too much product, you kind of want to wipe away some of that excess product so it's not kind of gunked on there. But as I'm running my fingers through this top flap right here, it already feels dry to the touch, but can you see how shiny it is and how puffy the quilting looks? I absolutely love this Cadillac lotion. Look at that back. Oh my gosh, look how puffy and shiny that is. A little bit of conditioner makes a huge difference here. Now I want to talk about vachetta leather. Some of you guys know that I am nervous when it comes to vachetta leather, and quite frankly, for a long time, up until recently, I didn't get any handbags with vachetta leather on it. Right here, I have my Damier Ebene in like the treated leather right here. This leather here is very carefree because it's already been treated and you don't have to worry about patina-ing wrong or darkening or getting water stains or things like that, which is why I love my Speedy B. However, I recently purchased for my birthday my beautiful Montessori BB backpack here, and as you can see, obviously it does have vachetta leather here, but basically I realized that they had pre-treated this vachetta leather. It doesn't make it completely immune to water damage or patinaing in an uneven way. I can't say that word, patinaing. It still will happen even though they've pre-treated it, but it's going to be a little bit more even and you can be a little bit more carefree about it, but I still wouldn't take this bag out in the rain. I did purchase some products and I'm going to share them with you now. They're a pretty well-known brand. The two products that I bought to waterproof the vachetta leather on this handbag are these two things. They're from Havre de Luxe and they look like this. So I mentioned one of them already earlier. This one here is a waterproofing conditioner and this one here is a water repellent protector. And I do have a discount code down below, so I'll have these products linked, and then I have 15% off discount code for their products, so go ahead and check them out if you are so inclined. What I really like about these two things is obviously they are waterproofing products so that your leathers, your vachettas, your handbags don't get water damage. The difference between these two, they sound very similar, and quite frankly, I was confused, but the difference is this first one, which is the waterproofing conditioner, it's a conditioner that also waterproofs your handbags. So what I did was I used this and I used, again, a clean microfiber cloth, and I sprayed this onto the cloth and then rubbed it into this vachetta leather so that it conditioned this vachetta leather so it won't crack, but it also then waterproofed it. Once I let that dry, then I moved in to this one. This is the water repellent protector. And I thought I'd play it safe and add another layer of protection to it by using this water repellent protector. I don't know if you necessarily need both of them. I wanted to play it safe. I don't want any water damage or anything on here. So I played it safe and I got both. But I'm glad I did, because then if I ever want to waterproof, I'm thinking about even trying this on my lambskin, on my Chanel mini rectangle back there, because I find myself getting nervous taking that bag out in the rain as well. So I'm going to probably try using this waterproofing conditioner on that handbag so that I can waterproof it as well as moisturize it at the same time. And then this one here you can use for basically almost anything here. It says, shake well before use, ensure you spray between 10 to 20 centimeters from the item, and apply product to a clean cloth, then evenly wipe onto smaller areas. Apply evenly over leather and fabric. Several applications may be required on absorbent surfaces. Allow to fully dry before use. Use on the exterior and interior of your handbags, and they recommend testing product on a concealed area before use, like all products. This water repellent protector is not really a moisturizer, right? So then you can just spray this. So for me, I could even spray this on cloth. I could spray this on the interior of this bag. I could spray it wherever, and I could waterproof my products. So I love these guys. Another product that is also great for waterproofing is this one right here. This is the Collonil CarbonPro, and I learned about this product from Chase Amy. I love her channel, I love her videos, and she created a video about waterproofing her luxury items, her luxury shoes, luxury handbags, and she uses this CarbonPro spray to waterproof her items. I've used this one on several of my handbags as well as shoes, and it does work pretty well. It basically makes it so that when the water hits the product that you're protecting, it basically just rolls right off and it doesn't absorb in. So this one's a great one as well, and I love it. So if you are interested, she also talks about this and how she uses it in more detail. I'm just gonna kind of breeze over it because it's just spray and go. So you can even use this on white shoes. You know, sneakers can be really hard. I know this is about handbags, but I just wanted to throw it out there. You can use it on white sneakers and things like that to protect it more from damage and getting dirty so quickly. Okay, moving on. There's a couple more things I do with my handbags. So one big thing is base shapers. That's the big reason why I have this bag here is I just wanted to show you guys that, you know, bag organizers, base shapers, those sort of things, those things that you put inside the bag to maintain its shape, can be very, very useful in maintaining the quality of your handbags and making it last a lot longer, because you're helping the leathers or whatever materials you're talking about hold up its shape so that it stays looking newer, right? I don't know how else to explain it. For here, this bag here, I got a base, like a base shaper or a handbag organizer from Amazon. They sell them all over the place, especially for the Speedies and the Neverfulls. So I'm not gonna really go into detail for that one. But for my mini rectangle here, which a lot of people know is more of a delicate bag, so I ordered a base shaper that looks like this. It's basically leather wrapped board that has two ends like that, so that it sits at the base of this bag. This has helped a lot because I worry about the interior of this bag. The interior of this bag is completely leather lined in lambskin, and so I find that I get nervous when I put things inside, especially things that are a little bit more sharp like keys. When I have this in there, not only am I not worried about the bottom of this bag sinking down from heavy objects inside, but also I'm not so worried about scratches because at least one of the surfaces is protected by this base shaper. So I'm just going to show you guys really quickly. It's really nothing mind-blowing. You just throw it into the bag and it will help protect your bag and keep its shape so that it looks new. This one is, I forgot to mention, from Havre de Luxe as well. A lot of companies sell these. I recently ordered one for my new Chanel wallet on chain from an Etsy store, so I'm still waiting for that one to come in, but tons of people sell these. Be careful with these because the edges can be a little bit sharp. If you scratch your handbag with this, especially lambskin, I don't know if you'll be able to buff out the scratch. So I would just gently place this in here. I'm gonna do this off camera here. I just can't I got mine in the black leather so that it blends in with the interior of the handbag. So that way when you look inside, you don't even see it. But there it is. It's at the very bottom of this bag. And basically it just holds up the shape. And I find that it gives me an extra layer of protection and it's just really handy. A lot of people do use these. So I recommend using one as well, especially for bags that are a little bit more delicate or ones that you want to protect the interiors of. That's one big reason why I do use one for my Speedy. The interior is a red textile lining, as many of you guys may already know, and that can get pretty dirty. So I use a bag organizer so that any dust or lint or anything that collects in the bag organizer rather than in the actual bag itself. Finally, I have something that I haven't used yet, are hardware protectors. This one I ordered when I bought my handbag. This is from Havre de Luxe, but here it says Handbag Haven because they haven't rebranded themselves yet. But basically what this is, it's a hardware protector for the CC logo on this bag. I still have my original sticker on the CC logo. I like to keep my stickers on my hardware for as long as possible. If this sticker ever falls off, then I have a replacement hardware protector and I can use this and stick it on here so that the hardware doesn't get scratched. And that's a big thing for me, especially when it comes to Chanel. I find people are very nitpicky when buying pre-loved items. So if I can keep mine in as pristine condition as possible, even if it's just not for reselling but for myself, it would make me feel a lot better. It feels like I have a new bag all the time. So I would recommend getting some hardware protectors if you want to protect, you know, the hardware in your bags and make sure that they're not always being scratched and being banged around so much. They also sell these applicator assisters for these hardware protectors. These basically help you put this hardware protector onto the hardware really accurately so that you don't mess up and collect dust or lint underneath it. I have yet to use this, so I'm not going to demonstrate on camera today. I don't need to. I still have my sticker on my CC logo, but I just wanted to put it out there that hardware protectors are a thing, and I'm sure a lot of you guys already know about it, but it's good to have, especially for higher ticket items like a Chanel handbag, for instance. So I hope you guys found today's video helpful, and as I mentioned before, you will find all the products that I've mentioned in this video down in the description bar below, and I have a discount code with Havre de Luxe. For any other products, you get 15% off, so go ahead and use that Irene.simply code and save yourself a little bit of money, but also protect your handbags at the same time. If you guys liked today's video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!